Top Minds YouTube channel, back with another video. And I just want to discuss like a few things based on from my point in life, what I view as being a leader, what I view as leadership at this point in my life. And this video is for anybody who is the first to being something. This video is about being first to do something in your life, amongst your friends, your family. And honestly, when you're the first to do something, when you're the first at achieving something, when you're the first at finding a sense of direction or purpose for your life, there is a lot of things that you have to be aware of. There are a lot of things that you have to take note of and take into consideration. But also, while doing these different things, you have to manage. You got to learn how to manage. You got to learn how to have integrity. You got to have communication skills. You got to know how to have awareness out here. You have to really use your mindset. You got to use your mental. You got to use your mind 24/7. Now, what I mean by that is, as a leader, when you're somebody that a lot of people are looking towards or looking at as far as a sense of direction, you don't really get to take breaks. Okay? You don't really get to take breaks. And the harsh reality about this is a lot of people who are in your life, a lot of people who are around you at that current moment, they are around you because of the success you got, of the success you have gained. Now, if you are to slip, fall off, take a step back, or just lose it just a little bit, you have to understand and realize that a lot of people who are rooting for you, a lot of people who are supportive of you, they're not going to be there. They're not going to support you as much when you're losing. When things get hard as a leader, just be aware, be cautious. Be aware, be cautious, and just know that you are really out here by yourself. Okay? Being a leader, you are in a world of your own. Being a leader, you are in a place of your own. Being a leader, you are in a world by yourself. While others get to take in and celebrate and enjoy the different things that are happening in life because of what sacrifices you've made, you don't necessarily get to sit back and kind of take it all in and enjoy it. Around you, there are a lot of people who don't necessarily want to change the way they go about living life. They don't want to change the way they operate and maneuver in life. So it stays dependent. They stay dependent as you have learned how to be independent on your own and you're moving in the direction. But you have to also learn to manage time around others. You have to manage what people say about you. You have to learn to block out the noise. And that leads me to the next point to explain and express that as a leader, you're going to be alone most of the time. You oftentimes are isolated. And in these spaces of being isolated, in this pocket of being by yourself, that is where you find your creativity. That's where your ideas come about. That's when the thoughts come about. That's when different things to help you come about. Whatever type of business, side hustle, idea that you have, you need that time alone. You need that time of isolation to figure out what's the next move, to figure out which direction that you're going to go towards. You have to figure that out. And you got to understand, people would like to attach themselves to winners. People attach themselves to winners. Whole time you got to understand, as a leader, as you being a winner, there are going to be a bunch of people around you that may tell you how you should behave, how you should move, how you need to operate, all these different things that you need to work on as a leader. And these are things that, as a leader, you have to take into consideration and learn to gauge and see through the smoke and mirrors. But You have to also understand and learn that you are going in a space in a direction where people around you are trying to help you grow into that space. Now you have to learn to weed out what is for you and what isn't for you, okay? It's just like, okay, for example, I always bring up when I play college sports. Scouting reports come out, the fans, the people who watch your games, the coaches, scouts, trainers, all these people tell you what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you should work on, what you need to work on, like different things like that. So if you continuously keep hearing the same things along the way, you should try this, you should work out, you should do this, you should do that. It's pretty much a safe bet that you should engage or take part in these activities or these spaces that will help you elevate your life to another level. But you got to also watch out for the fact that people will try to build you, people will try to make you grow, people will try to change who you are to fit what they want, to fit their lifestyle, to fit the things that they like. Okay? And you got to be very careful about this. And sometimes you can trick yourself out of position and realize, like, whoa, let me take a step back. I'm the one who got here. You have to remember that. As you build and grow in your life, you got to remember this to yourself. You got to say these things to yourself. I built myself to this point. I got myself to this point. I carried myself to this level. I pulled myself out of the dirt. It's you. You watching this video. You pulled yourself out of the dirt. You got yourself out of that struggle moment. You pulled your straps tight and you got out of that mud. You got the grind going on. You started hustling. You started pursuing something that you knew would change your life. And as you change your life, the name of the game still stays the same no matter what level you're on. But as you pursue and elevate and change your life, more and more things are drawn to you. Everybody's drawn towards something that looks like a winner. Everybody's drawn towards something that looks like a success. Just don't lose yourself in that process. Just don't lose yourself in what you're doing, okay? You can't. You can't. Once you fall off, once you lose focus, once you get distracted, just know people are taking their time and attention elsewhere. That's why you can't stay focused on what everybody else is doing. You can't be worried about what everybody else is doing. Okay? As a leader, this is a very lonely world sometimes. And it's only lonely when you get in deep thought and you start thinking like, like different things, different experiences that everybody else can enjoy and take part in. It necessarily doesn't work for you because you're always so focused on the future. Leaders are visionaries. Leaders are always looking for the next thing that can help them elevate their life, elevate their people around them. But when you try to include and bring others into what you want to do, it usually fails. You have to go and do these things yourself. You have to build yourself to a level to where you start connecting with people who are just like you, and it'll help you grow further and further and further. There is no end goal. There is no end game. There is no finish line, no target point, no marker for life. Life is forever expanding. Life is forever growing. It's continuous. It's continuous. But you go at your own pace. Okay? Go at your own pace. As a leader, you must understand how to go at your own pace. And the reason I say that is because, going back to what I said earlier in the video, there are people who will try to speed you up and they haven't accomplished anything themselves. They haven't been through the rough and dark parts of their life themselves. You have to go through these rough, dark points in your life to understand, one, how you work, how your mindset works, how money works around you, how your spirit moves, how different things around you change when you aren't operating in the right way, how different things around you change when you're feeling down about yourself. You have to pay attention to how these responses are when you're not the right way. How do you respond when things happen in life? How do you respond when things aren't going your way? But then more so, even better, how do the people around you start responding when you start losing, when you start falling off? Take it back to when I played college sports. I love using the college example. I stopped playing college basketball. I dropped off from that image of being a basketball player. And what happened was I had an Instagram account at 10K. All right? Had an Instagram account at 10K. I stopped playing basketball. You start watching the followers decrease. You start watching the people check up on you. You start watching the people around you call you, want to be around you, different things, because people are enticed by the success. People love being around a winner. Nobody wants to be around a loser, and you can't blame them for that. Because most of the time, you have to also understand and know that a lot of us in our lives, we're losers. We're losing. So when we're losing, we don't want to be around somebody else who's just as bad as us or worse. We want to be around somebody who's better, who's thriving, who's succeeding. And this is the part where you can catch yourself trying to pick others up. You can catch yourself trying to cheer other people's up, trying to make their lives better. And the whole time, you got to understand why these people are around you. They like being close to you. They like being around you because you're succeeding, because you are succeeding, because you are thriving, because you are prospering. Stay locked in, stay focused. Don't lose yourself in this game of life. Let me tell you something. Life can sometimes be repetitive. Life can sometimes be boring. Life can sometimes be just you go through these little spaces, these little pockets where you lost, where you don't know what's going on, where you don't know what to do. And this all comes with being a leader. There's a lot of times where you are isolated. There comes a lot of times where you are by yourself. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Can't just shut down. Can't quit. Because you gotta understand the life that you build towards, there's never time to take a break. You have to stay moving and grinding. You have to stay building. You have to stay creating. You have to stay doing these things that got you to that point. Or you'll slowly to take steps back and fall off. And you gotta know what happens once you fall off. You can lose your mindset. You can lose the ideas. You can lose the creativity. You can lose all the things around you that got you to that point. Okay? You gotta understand people, experiences, life, lessons, different things are in your life for seasons. It could be temporary, it could be long term. Who knows what it is? But you gotta understand these are the things that as a leader, this is the awareness you gotta have. This is the discernment that you have to have. You have to be aware of different things around you. You have to be on point. You have to always be ready. How do you stay ready? You gotta go to the gym. You gotta eat the right food. You gotta meditate. You gotta fast. You gotta say prayers. Okay? Now let me rewind this a little bit. There are times when even I don't believe in all these aspects in my life where I struggle with it. I'm just thinking like, man, this ain't gonna work. Man, this ain't gonna do what it's supposed to do. You can have doubts. When you spend a lot of time by yourself, you do have doubts. When you spend time around others, you can have doubts. You can second guess what you believe in. You can second guess these different things. Take you back for an example. I had went out to a club the other night. Went out to the club the other night with some of my friends. And I explained it to my friends. I was like, yo, if certain things I gotta do to be around y'all makes me have to adjust just to be comfortable, I don't need to be here. And then going into the club, we standing around, and then it just got to the point where I'm just like, this is boring. Like, it's boring. You can get I get bored with things easily. I don't know like about you or what you go through, but there are different pockets in life where you can get bored with stuff so easily. Like taking it back to the college thing once again. As a college athlete, you are in every bar, club, party, kickback, house party, festival. You're a part of a lot of different things. So for me, from 17, 16 years old up until 26, 27, that's what it was. You enjoying life, you party, you traveling all over the country, you just doing different things. And you start to realize like you don't have nothing going for yourself. You don't have the different things that you would like to have accomplished by this age. So you got to understand, going back to this leadership terminology, going back to this leadership thing I'm talking about, do not second guess what you're doing. As a leader, it may seem like you're behind, you're struggling, it's boring, it's repetitive, but you are building yourself to this level where you're going to get appreciated, you're going to get applauded for it. It's going to be a pat on the back eventually. Keep building, keep stacking, keep investing, keep doing whatever it is you got to do to make yourself into this person that you want to become, to make yourself into this brand, this image that you want to become. Don't lose focus, center yourself, and lock in. Okay? Quiet Minds YouTube channel. Are you focused on pushing towards a goal or a dream? How would you describe your everyday life? How do you deal with hardships and adversity when trying to keep the motivation towards your dream? How do you think and how would you evaluate yourself? What is your perspective on the choices and the decisions that you have made in your life? Based on your habits, how has life been guiding you and where has your life been taking you? If you don't understand the things that I'm asking, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and ask yourself, self, do you know who you are? If not, watch a few videos, take a look at Quiet Mind's YouTube channel. These are some of the things that we talk about on this YouTube channel. We talk about how to stay focused, how to evaluate everyday life, how to look in your past to help you see where you're going. For those of you who don't know, the things that you have done in your past led you to where you are right now. Once you make the changes about your life begins to change. Quiet Minds YouTube channel.